How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, many know that up in Redding, California, we've been having a major fire. And some people take an opportunity to loot. And how I found out about all this, it's been kind of hush about what's going on. I was on Facebook. Let me blow this up. So, now this fire is quite major up here. It's further up north than me. I mean, you can't go no further north when you go to Redding, California. And the last that I checked, they said there were 17 fires in that area. That number always comes up. All I can do is say, thank you, Father. It's still amazing to me. But anyway, so I seen this picture and I said, well, let me do some research like I always do. Because they just said looters and that was it. So you already seen the first pictures that I shown of some of the various looters right here. But I found something quite interesting. I'm going to play a little bit of this. I'm not going to play the entire thing and bore you. But listen to this police officer talk to this reporter about looters and check how the language is, how careful he is to speak and stuff. It's just amazing still to this day. When they dealing with us, it's a whole different energy. But when they dealing with their own, it's a whole different energy. So let's take some of this in. Like I said, I'm not going to play the entire video. I'll play what's necessary. This is 7 minutes. And I know y'all don't want to hear the whole damn 7 minutes of the other shit. But okay, let's just roll with it.
What are we doing here today?
So all of us that are out roving around, you see us cruising through your neighborhoods, up and down the streets that aren't assigned to fixed posts. A lot of us are driving in and out of all the neighborhoods, up and down long driveways. Basically just making sure we don't see people that are out here walking the neighborhoods. Maybe they stayed around behind the evacuation. As you're going past houses, you can check their front door, see if maybe they've been pried open, knocked open, broken windows, garage doors that look like they've been pried open, kind of lifted up. Look for stuff that's been moved, maybe the windows to where they've used them for steps, to where once they get that window broke open or jarred open, they can use that step, a garbage can or whatever, prop themselves up, get themselves up and into the window, and then begin to loot houses that are still here, that people left vacant, or when we're going through the burned out areas, you might find a partial damaged house that maybe just has a wall that's been burned where it's free access to the general public to get in. And as we see that stuff, then we'll stop. Sometimes, if we think something's really suspicious, we'll wait for another unit to come, and we'll clear those houses. If it's unlocked or left open, we go from there.
Did you catch any looters yet from homes that were evacuated due to the car fire?
Not myself, but my coworkers, RPD, all the other local agencies that are out here. I believe we have quite a few arrests for some looting. They're not high numbers. But they're not low numbers, one's too many. But I think a lot of it is us being out here on very active patrol with all of our departments that are out here. Just yesterday we had 120 CHP officers that were here in the area from all over the state of California. Plus we have all of you guys here as the media. The media coverage here is from all over the state and other states. So you guys are kind of a watchful eye for us as well, with tons of video cameras in your hands that work great. They're a great deterrent. Tons of fire personnel out here, our utilities, PG&E, City of Redding, Charter, AT&T, all those out and about. So there is tons of people out here that are watching. And then at night, our department is still very fully, I guess I'd say that we're out here in force with tons of California Highway Patrol officers and RPD and your different allied agencies from all over the state of California.
What are the penalties for someone who you catch looting?
So looting is the same thing, as 459 of the Penal Code. It's a felony, and it sounds like we have the backing and support of our district attorney, Stephanie Bridget. So hopefully they get prosecuted to the fullest, because it's nothing worse than somebody taking advantage of people at our lowest times right now during an emergency situation where you got to leave your house, which is a comfort spot. That's where we all want to be right now. So trying to get people back into their homes, but yeah, you feel like you've been victimized twice. Number one, you've been pushed out of your home, maybe lost your home in the fire, or maybe it's been partially damaged, and now you have somebody coming through and taking whatever valuable belongings that you do have left to salvage. So we're glad that hopefully they are enforced and they do time for their crime. So
What are some tips you might share with viewers who may have to evacuate within the next few days or so, or who are planning on doing so today? What kind of tips might you share to help them prevent or best protect themselves from looters?
Number one is, if you can leave some lights on, leave some lights on, so at night, as us as we're driving through, or if we do see a door open or a window open, we can see into the house. Lock your valuables up. If you have a gun safe, lock your guns, your ammo up. If you can, take it. Put it in your car, take it with you. Don't leave it out in the wide open. Don't leave it to where, if you're leaving your blinds open, that people can just look through your window and see if you do have some valuables laying there. Because most looters, they're looking for something that's very easily to get, and they're going to look through the windows first. If they see it out in plain open, in plain view, they're going to break that window, break that door, take it, and run. If they can't see it, they're probably going to move on. Just like when they're going around your neighborhoods, they're checking your door handles. They're not really going to the cars that are unlocked or locked. They're looking for the ones that are unlocked, and then they can scavenge through it real fast, grab anything of value to them, and then quickly leaving that area. So lock your doors. A lot of people, I think they have to leave their doors open or unlocked for fire. I would say lock your doors. Lock everything up. Maybe your gate if you live in a long driveway. I'll let the ready electric guy go by. And
Okay, that's the end of that, my royal family. I just, gave y'all a little over 4 minutes of him, blah, 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 blah. So, I said, well, let me do my research, like I always do. Because, normally when they show looters, we see all this. We familiar with all this. We familiar with this. And let me show you how much time they devoted to these looters. Okay. Let me put this back here. Well, let me go over here first. This was ridiculous because this shit is major, because the article that I'm going to put in the link is very, 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 I cannot emphasize how very long it is if you want to just scroll down and look. So it ain't no need me reading it all, but these looters are breaking into residential and business. They ain't just, going in people's homes. And further up north, it's a lot of wealthy people. Now, we've been having some major fires about the last 3 or 4 years in California, and it's just amazing the neighborhoods that they hit. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, my royal family. So let's see how much time do they devote the news to this looting. Hold your breath.
Investigators released the mugshots of looters arrested for breaking into homes in Redding's fire zone. 2 reportedly said they were looking for water. 1 man was cuffed in the evacuation zone Saturday night. Investigators say he was wearing camouflage clothes and carrying weapons. This afternoon, Redding police say 2 others were found and booked into the Shasta County Jail for remaining in the evacuation zones.
25 fucking seconds. You feel me? Let me get rid of this one. 25 seconds. 25 seconds. That's it. Then let's go back here. When you see black folks looting, it's forever, ever, ever, ever. They're out there filming this shit. And I would imagine when they walked up on them, they could have filmed the shit. Like they always film the shit. Everybody walking around with a camera. So let's see how much time they devote to this next one.
Are still waiting for word on their homes tonight, but they are also worried about everything else they had to leave behind.
Yeah, looting is always a worry at any time like this when there's a mass evacuation, and law enforcement is doing everything they can to prevent it. Last night we saw a pair of CHP officers patrolling one burned-out neighborhood in Reading looking for looters. Tonight, Reading police say several would-be thieves have already been arrested.
We're seeing several reports a day of people in neighborhoods, people driving through neighborhoods, going around our roadblocks, shouldering doors, getting into residents that haven't been burnt, and so they are looking to steal items from the residents.
Reading Police Chief Roger Moore, who you just saw there, lost his own home in the fire. At least 2 of his officers also lost theirs.
All right. So, 49 seconds. And I had mentioned to the royal family that, yes, the chief of police house burned to a crisp. So, these are the various looters. We got, I started calling them Thing 1, Thing 2, Thing 3. And this is how folks is getting down. I don't see anybody that look like us. They didn't really put it on there like major. It was just buried. I had to dig this shit up. This wasn't no easy find. And that's how much they devoted to it. Now, we know it's a damn shame. People, houses burning to a crisp. People losing their businesses. And then the looters, they get an opportunity. Wonder why we don't see any coverage. People out there dying, These is 8 folks done died. A grandmama done died and everything. Children done died. This is sad. This ain't nothing to take joy over. You would think, because, usually when there's a major disaster on this level, folks get in there and volunteer. Who the fuck want to steal something when shit is burning down? Looters. Wonder why we don't see it on this level. We don't see it on this level. Because these folks, when you look at this article, they running through these businesses. Now remember what it showed. These folks too. Now you heard how the police officer played it down. All right, he played it down. Way more people. But this is their system. And this is how they get down. So, we ain't surprised at all. But I tell you what, my royal family, do this for me. Render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe. What a damn shame. Looters.